Now is it streaming or is it not? Well, it says it is. It says it is. It says live viewers 1, but that might be me. It says live Q&A while I work. Yeah, but it's not while I work if it's taken all my time to get this working. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Write something somewhere in the chat. Anyone, if you can. Live streams are a nightmare. Absolute pain in my backside. I've got green on my stream, so, and audio looks as though it's being pumped out, but I might be wrong. Okay, so is that not working? Well, that bit's working. That's handy. Da 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 dun 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 do 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 do. Right, hopefully. Go on, someone write something down there. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes or no? Can you hear me? Can you not? Can you hear me? Can you not? Can you hear me? Right, is this working or is this not? Is this working or is this not? Oh, we have music. I'm watching myself just to see if it's working. Booming bass. Don't want that. I better skip ads, and I. Where's my mouse? So it is working. There we go. I think. Right, there we go. That's bad, isn't it, when you... Right. It's saying I am live. It's saying I am live. So the whole idea of this, if I can get it right, there we go. The whole idea of this one, what it's saying is, oh, can you hear me? Can you not? Write down the chat if you can hear me, or if you can't. I think you can. Go on, write in the chat. Someone write in the chat. Then I can carry on doing what I want to do. I haven't got closed captions, no. There's something very not quite right with this at the moment. OBS and YouTube are not playing well together. So let's refresh that. So it says there's people here, but for some reason it's saying that, someone just write something down on the old comments chat section, anyone, and then just write some questions down or anything else like that. I don't mind, because this is supposed to be basically for when I'm busy editing and stuff. Can you hear me? Question mark. Ah dear. Right, we're saying live. It is, everything's staying live, although when you look at this one, it's saying it's not. Which is an interesting one, because I'm not getting any stream information whatsoever. Very strange. So I'm assuming from the absolute lack of comments that there are restrictions on the actual stream. See, the whole idea of me doing this was possibly just to jump on and answer some questions whilst I work. However, it's now taken up more of my time trying to work out why no one can actually write anything, which is a bit of a pain in my backside, I'll be honest. Because there was a few things actually I wanted to talk about today, which would be an interesting topic of conversation. Have possibly some quite interesting directions where people would go to when it comes to their practice and how they utilize their practice, whether it be distance accuracy or what golf clubs they should work on, what ones they shouldn't work on, and stuff like that. But if you can't write anything in the box, in the chat box, I don't know if I'm just talking to myself. Yeah. I need YouTube to do a better job at linking with OBS. Okay, well it says here we've got viewers. And out of those viewers, what I need is someone to write in the comments section. Go on, down there, can you hear me? Can you interact? That's what I need. I need someone to do that for me. Go on, you can do it. Right in there, go on, live streaming. Now it's saying everything's looking right. Viewing live control room. Ah, we have it. Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. Right, oh my goodness me. Right, okay. Hello everybody. I have now, if I could take a picture of my screen and show you, I will now do this. Pop out chat. Thank you to everybody who I need to copy and copy. I need to flick over to OBS, and anyone who wants a crash course in how to utilize OBS to live stream on YouTube, hopefully now that There you go. Hurrah, we have all these bits and pieces. So, right, okay guys, welcome everybody. YouTube, we love it. Right, so I will not be keeping this on YouTube later on. This will not be something that people can watch afterwards. It's not designed for that in the slightest, it's not. What it is though, is designed to, hopefully this was going to be me working. And as I work, I can read everyone's bits and pieces. What's this? Okay, I'm blocking who? Anti-Savolianian. Sorry if I've absolutely done a very poor job of, saying your name. I'm gonna hide that comment because swearing is not allowed on the Ask Golf Nut channel. Because we have all manner of different people here. Swearing is for TikTok, and I'm not quite sure if I'm going to be ever doing TikTok. Charlie, totally hijack all is well. Yes, it is. Richard, I'm going to go through this now because if anyone has actually put some information on there, then I will make an effort. And now I can see it to do it. Now you can see it as well, which is in bad. So, Richard Skinner, hi Jay, it's streaming good. Now I know. Johansson, I can hear you from Atlanta. Hello, Jim Walker, I can't, Washer. Jim, I apologise. You have told me. Hear you fine, yes. Richard Skinner, yes, we can hear you. Hello, Richard. Renee Dvet Pedersen, Scandinavian. That's just a guess. Hello, we can hear you. Yes, Dean, loud and clear in Cleveland, Ohio. Hello, Dean. How are you? Loud and clear. Do you think? Oh, you think P7? Oh, what's time? Have I clashed? About to say that's poor YouTube etiquette, and it clashing with the video that you've just posted. You think P770 is okay for a 70 handicap? Go for a good 1721. Yes, basically, if you strike it somewhere near okay-ish, a P770, I mean, just doing the testing, they're blooming brilliant irons. They just feel lovely. Just watch the P770, great stuff. You'll be doing the same as you did with the do a data set with an average swing speed of say 80 miles an hour. Jim, I possibly could do, but the problem is obviously with the P770s, generally speaking, aimed at a target audience of the better player, and then the better player generally swings faster. I mean, so my issue with videos, as everyone knows anyway, is the length of them. I could do different things with different people. The problem is the length I already struggle with. And anti-Salvalian, so yeah. So yeah, you messaged afterwards, I'm catching up, and you said a swear word which I've deleted, sorry. Richard, are you working? Are you working? I am working, although YouTube wasn't for a while. Thinking of swapping my Ping SF Tech for a Max. If the delivering speed was the same, do you think I'd get more out of the Max? Yes. Like for like, strike dependent and delivery dependent, because of many different reasons, which I think I did sort of go into when it comes to my review of them. But yeah, also going to hear and see you in Helsinki. There you go, Auntie. Thank you, Gavin. Yes, we can. Geomash, heavier putter better for more straight putting stroke. Which mallet do you recommend for wobbly putters? A lesson. Basically, but yeah, I like heavy putters anyway. The new Omoys from Mizuno are like heavyweights. They're like bricks on the end of a stick. Great though. Are you a strictly fan based? Are you a strictly fan based on your humming? Yeah. See, this is where I actually go back and realise what I was doing when people would like, yeah. Yeah, can't get the idea. Thinking of swapping my Ping SF Tech for a Max. I've done that one already. I need to scroll down with my mouse. Yes, we can. Check your phone and you'll see it's working. Should have done, shouldn't I? Yes, says Trevor. Gavin says thumbs up. What pro offers simplest swing style that amateurs can copy? What pro offers the simplest swing style that amateurs can copy? Never copy another person's swing, ever, because you can only copy another person's swing if that person's swing you're copying is very, very close to baseline yours. If you end up doing that, it would be like, okay, from now on, I'm going to run diagonally. Well, you look a bit daft to start with, and it's going to take you a long time to get used to doing it. It's not very efficient either. If you've always run that way, you kind of get my point. Yes, we bloody can. Excuse my French, shouldn't swear either. Well, bloody as in like the blood sense, so YouTube don't pick that up. Yes, loud and clear, can hear you. The most visible, yes. So, Christian, someone called tech support. Yep, I think that's a good idea. Unfortunately, YouTube, the screen I am looking at, of which you can't see, how can I get this up on? I don't think you can, sorry. The screen I can see, unfortunately, has all the information on there. If the live stream is working, how many viewers there are, concurrent, this and everything, stream health and all that lot. It was basically just dead. It was still scrolling along and I had to reset everything. And the problem is what I'm looking at here is slight delay, as always is. So, yeah, if you not see the chat, we can now, clearly not. Most struggle with the 3 wood due to low launch. Should I try a high lofted wood or low lofted hybrid? Wood, fairway wood, this is Ian. A wood will always trump a hybrid for launch potential because of the further lower back CG. However, we are talking about individuals who have a distinct problem when it comes to their reactions to woods, hybrids, irons and stuff like that. You have to work with the individual themselves. Could very easily be a technique tweak and then opens up their the spectrum of golf clubs that they could potentially use, but obviously until that point. Any comments on low spin boost effect of some of these launch monitors, mostly Foresight, and how they can fool some consumers into buying a new driver? No, what it is effectively, it's not the consumers which are being fooled into buying it. Unfortunately, it is people that use her and her alike, which don't know how to use them. Also don't know how the algorithm works and use that. It's either ignorance or should we say it's conscious ignorance to work in a sale, or it's unconscious ignorance, which I'm not quite sure which one's worse, but yeah. If anyone who knows what the if you work with Foresight and others, everyone, all launch monitors are different. They always have their kind of character. Some launch monitors, I mean, I've used a couple of different quads over my time, and they've all had different characters. Some like this, some don't like that. Some, yeah. So it's just knowledge, and you can learn it. It's just people don't learn it. So basically, just look out for high launch, low spin. So if you've got any kind of ball speed, high launch, low spin, I'm talking like 13, 12, 1300, depending on what the speed of the ball is and also what launch angle, you can get some artificially long ones. But if you're hunting around about anything, looking at something between 1700, 1800 and upwards, within reason, it's a true figure. Definitely anything 2000, it's an absolutely true figure. But yeah, so where was I getting to? Yeah, clearly not. Goldfish. Have you reviewed the Carre Rogue SD Max? No, not yet, to be fair. I've been so busy. I hadn't even done the Mizuno S23 wedge yet, and that's still sitting there. They look lovely, by the way, bear with. Ugh. These things, the cobalt copper, lovely. Right, next one. So I can see myself disappear in the distance. It is about 20 seconds behind or so. He has a different chat which don't transfer YouTube's chat to the chat he's using. Renee, you are right. Many folks are responding, but you're not seeing our chat. I am now. 15 handicapper, don't spin the driver too much more than no more than 2,500, but as low as any which driver paradigm or ping. Ping for stability of spin on first, but I mean, without knowing your delivery individually, I could be absolutely wrong. That's the problem with having an opinion on something which you can't see. Grab your phone. That's right, I'm gonna go. I think I'm getting to a point where I am now caught up. Bring a plum, being a plum and check your phone to see YouTube. Yeah, I'm definitely getting caught up now. Right, I think that's off my. I'll get my question. Swing speed 85 miles on a driver and advice suggestions on type of shaft, etc. Should I test G430 driver? Fairly, yeah, by all means do that. Just because you've got slow swing speed doesn't mean you need a senior flex shaft. I have, because of shaft cycling, if anyone wants to spend some time on Google and just research shaft cycling. It's that when the shaft goes into like lag lead, that kind of idea, where people feel that it's whipping through when it comes, it's getting to its point where it's actually at the impact point, it's flinging its way through. In a lot of people's cases, it can actually be going backwards. So actually stiffening the shaft up, as long as you don't lose the swing speed because of additional weight of the shaft. But if you actually stiffen the shaft, you can actually lose less speed. So you don't kind of gain, but you just don't lose as much. That's not always the case, but yeah, gets quite complicated. What do you think about bending the 923 a degree weak because the lofts are so strong? You can do, increases bounce by a bit and also decreases the amount of offset you'll see, but apart from that, no problem whatsoever. M. Lee, where are you located? UK, Suffolk. That end, which end? Yeah, the east side. The east side. Greetings from Holland, Don. Hello, how are you? Jim Anderson, hey Jay, are you a fan of the new Mizuno RB golf balls? As in the Tour? Oh yes. They are amazingly good compared to, also, bear with, right, so new RB, get it in camera focus, new RB Tour against the old RB Tour. Now obviously you can't see this because I can't really zoom the camera in on this, but this is the old one with the old cover and the new one with the new cover, and I tell you what, the difference when you use these are crazy. The old ones are still really, really good in certain aspects, especially when it comes to when you want higher spin rates from someone else. You can just put the old RB Tour X ball in their hands and their spin rate just goes up straight away, which is great if you're searching for spin because you can just use that one. But the cover just cuts up all the time. So durability was rubbish on this one, but it's really, really good on this one. But then arguably, and I never really had a problem with this, obviously when it comes to, I don't play more than a round of golf with a golf ball. As soon as I played a round of golf with a golf ball, obviously if you don't lose it, every so often you hit a wayward drive. And Thetford Golf Course, when I play, if you can hit a wayward one, it's going in the forest, that you just put it in the practice bag anyway. So durability, yeah, it's a bit of a, yeah. And then if you're going to be a high handicap golfer and use them anyway, because obviously they give you the most control with green and stuff like that, generally speaking, you lose them before durability is an issue. Right, thinking of swapping, no, where am I? That's what I'm trying to keep up on things. Oh, I've got so many. When I say some people, will you just, someone say something, someone put anything on the chat. I didn't realize you're going to do this much. You're quicker than me. I had a new setup last season. I really need to make this bigger. Can I make this bigger? And I'm this season looking to upgrade the golf ball, 25 handicap. Have tried either, go with anything you want when it comes to that. Just go by your launch conditions, your spin rates that you want. I would generally speaking always go for urethane covered ball. That is an absolute, yep, that's what I would do. Minus 27 degrees Fahrenheit air temperature, wow, okay. In Minnesota, yeah, that's cold. I mean, I hate the winter, but I'd hate living there. Wow. What about the new Mizuno 923 Forge or Pro 221, 223 for a 12 handicap? 923 Forge, absolutely, Don. Definitely no problem whatsoever, depending on your strike potential. 221 can be, definitely, depending on what your strike potential is. If you're striking it pretty well, and bear in mind, modern day blades are actually quite forgiving. It's a little bit of a myth as to people think blades are terrible with this. They are more sensitive, yes, but there's the good bits, bad bits about playing with blades. Do you think Mizunos don't feel as good as they used to? Thinking of chromoly, yeah, okay, so David Hall, you have a good point and you are right. So obviously including chromoly into the mix and stuff like that will have an effect on the feel of a golf club. As soon as you stray away from 1025E, you're going to get that. So 1025 is basically like a steel, it's a carbon steel mix, isn't it? Metallurgists, go on. If anyone knows what 1025 is, I think it's the carbon content of the steel, something or other, how malleable and strong it is. I've got a funny story about that. I always remember when I was in college all those many moons ago, and it was like the hardness scale when you add carbon, and yeah, anyway, I won't go into it. Do you think Mizuno did that? I'm thinking of getting 923 Pros or getting Mizuno Pro 225 delofted. Any thoughts? I need to do a video on that, don't I think, if I haven't done one already. The Mizuno Pro and 923 Hot Metal Pros is a really tricky and tough. I'd possibly go for the 225s just because of the look of them, but they'll perform very, very similarly. But if I was to say, now would be see, this is YouTuber. Now would be a good time to insert ads. The more viewers are watching, the more money creators can earn by inserting ads and giving it a try. See what I'm up against. You see what I'm up against. This is not for making money. YouTube, you stick ads into it, which okay, I can delete, I can turn it off. I could do, but the whole idea is to make it worth me while doing it, but not to irritate people. Go away, YouTube. See, this is what you have to deal with. Anyway, we'll carry on. Where was I? Be good to see more club comparisons, Chris. Yes, definitely. So I've got lots and lots and lots to do. It's the problem I've got is the fact that I've only got a finite amount of time to do certain things. My body can only take a certain amount of shots per day and stuff like that. It takes a certain amount of time to edit everything, and because of the way I do things, it takes longer to edit than most. So maximum I'd only ever be able to do one per day, and I would be knackered because it does take a while. But I try and get as much out as I possibly can do, and I've obviously got other things I need to do as well. Yeah. Be good. Ever thought of doing any putter reviews? Get fit for a putter. I've done some, but it's the problem with putter reviews. They are so uniquely individual. Anything I say could be absolutely, completely blown out the water by the next person who doesn't get on with it because of this reason. None of which I can actually say on a review, none of which I know, and none of which I can actually account for whatsoever. So golf clubs are different, but putters, even wedges to a certain extent, it's difficult to actually do a proper wedge review because we're talking about the nuances of the individual when it comes to especially the better player who likes to use some bounce and different grinds and all that lot. I can't do a review for every single golfer who likes to deliver it this way and deliver it that way, play wedge shots and sand shots this way. It's just crazy, but yeah. Can you please do a review on more forgiving wedges, switching over to from a blade style? Okay, there is a thing with a wedge. Right, anyone who thinks, and this is, I don't care who is, and when it comes, any manufacturer's listening, I don't care. It's honest. As soon as you get to a point of where loft goes past 45 degrees, the help on perimeter weighted irons doesn't work, or wedges, sorry, doesn't work in the same way as irons do. As soon as you've got a flatter faced, anything that's stopping the golf club from moving around from an off-center hit works left and right. When it comes to, as soon as you go past 45 degrees, it's kind of more working up than it is left and right. So there's not actually that much difference between cavity back and blades. Loft is by far your biggest thing when it comes to wedges. But yeah, there is nuance to it, but yeah. Right, let's go. Next one. I'm not reading any. I keep on seeing Goldfish here. You've got minus 27 degrees Fahrenheit in Minnesota. Not a chance. No way, Jose. Right. It's now 1:40 p.m. Central Time. Okay, that's for, yeah, I suppose it'd be America, wouldn't it? Where did I get to? Yes, currently playing. So this is Peter McCleary. Currently playing steel fiber 95s my irons. Absolutely great shaft. I don't agree with the upcharge part of it for Mizuno, but again, I suppose they're expensive and Mizuno can't afford necessarily to have that as a non-upcharge, so I get it, I just don't like it. With jumbo grips, swing rates are about C7. Yeah. Missing the target left, what do you suggest? Longer shaft, switching to a good, do a good lightweight steel. No, work out why. There is, so setup and equipment can make a difference to your dispersion pattern, obviously, and then your miss, exactly, yes it can. However, by far the biggest is you. And so I'd want to get you on a launch monitor, work out exactly why, because we're talking about, if you're talking I miss left, okay, if it's a few yards left, yeah. If it's I miss 12 yards left every single time, that's not because of club. Club can influence, and it can influence the grey mat between your ears, which can have a massive difference, but get a lesson. Having a lesson will open your ideas and open your understanding up as to why you're missing left, and then by putting something else in there at the same time, you can put a little option of try this, try that, and see what, without telling you what is this, what is that, see how you react, and yeah, kind of a blind testing idea. Chris Granger, what is your view on club pricing with the latest releases? My view on the club pricing releases, Chris, is the fact that the reason why I try and stay away from pricing is, one, I believe all golf clubs are too expensive. There you go, I'll get that one out there. Every single manufacturer's golf clubs are too expensive. There you go. However, it is what it is, and we can't get around that. So, why I stay away from it is purely this. At the point of embargo, so let's say with Ping it was the 10th of January, Mizuno was the 19th of January, you kind of get the idea, where the reviews come out. And we obviously don't get the information, we don't get the golf clubs on the 19th of January and then do it really, really quick. We get them X amount of weeks. I think I got my samples from Mizuno, let's say, I think the week before Christmas. So then, yeah, Christmas, New Year, but you've got some time to make the content, but you don't know what the pricing is. What you do know though is RRP. And there is this recommended retail price, which no manufacturer, they never sell for that. You've got recommended and what the retailers will do it. Ping had this, I had this very, very interesting conversation with an aero sales manager from Ping. He's a great guy, very interesting guy, very knowledgeable as well. And we had a conversation once about the, obviously when you're doing buy-ins for accounts and stuff like that. And the account holder wanted to get some information from Ping to basically sort of say, what's the margin on these? And the Ping area sales manager was going to say, well, there isn't any margin. Well, what do you mean? I said, well, because we can't control what you sell it at. Or we can tell you what the trade is. Now, if you decide to sell it at this or sell it at that, then that you are having your own impact on your own margin. We can't control that. So what is the margin? I haven't got a clue. So I stay away from that because there was chat about, say, the new Mizuno driver is going to be $499. $499, too much money for a Mizuno driver. And do you know what? It's too much money for any driver, but that's a different thing. I'm already hearing that potentially the Mizuno driver is going to be $399. So there's a difference between recommended price and what it actually retails at when it's on the shop. There you go. That's my view on pricing. That took a bit longer than I wanted to do. So, Bill Ryan. Bill, you've been around for a long while. Is it right? And Bill, you've been around for a little while. I've seen your name I don't know how many times over the years. Jay, is the Mizuno X driver's centre of gravity more towards the heel? Yes, it is. And could it cause hooking to be more prevalent? Yes, it could, potentially. Potentially. Does Mizuno have putters this year? I don't know, if I'll be honest. I haven't asked. Sorry. Richard Skinner, wow. That's possibly a reaction to something which I've already answered, or which I can't remember because I'm answering so many. I'm not looking at the camera enough. I do apologise because I am talking to you. It's just that I'm trying to read as quick as I can. Trevor, okay, 15 handicap, don't expect that. I've done that one. Ideal launch angle for a driver, depending on speed. The slower you are, the higher you need, and the faster you are, the lower you need. And then obviously that's with spin rates and stuff like that, because obviously it's important that you get the spin rate and the launch angle married correctly. And also whenever you get fit for your driver, make sure you're getting fit not for your perfect one out the middle is your ideal longest shot, because you need your perfect one out the middle to be your not quite your longest shot. It needs to be a little bit too spinny. Why? Because on those shots that you hit high on the face as a miss, you'll get vertical gear and it will drop the spin. If you are on the cusp of perfect when it comes to your middle strikes, as soon as you hit high on the face, it will drop the spin a lot and it will just dip out the sky. And that means then you not only get a penal low, but you also get a very penal high on the face. Always have your spin baseline slightly too high, that when you hit high on the face, actually then you get your best, or if you hit it, you're only going slightly over the edge. The whole idea of getting fit is not for perfection, it's understanding within your miss point, where is your miss, how is your miss derived, and what you're going to get most on average. Right, hi Jay, getting on here late. Jess Collinson, not as late as I was, working out how to get YouTube working properly. That's a different story. Just watch your P7 Serenity post, great stuff. How would you compare it to i230 and which Mizuno? Wow, i230 is a great iron, really is a blooming good iron. Ooh, I'm not quite sure which one I'd go for. That's hard, that is really hard, I'm not quite sure. I think I'd go i230 on the basic, can be bent more. For me, I don't really care about that, but for the golfer, probably i230 because it can be bent more. Yeah, that's a really good question. Well done. Cheers, Jess. Appreciate it. Put me on the spot. Gavin, what do you think? Why do you think you struggled to hit the 790s? I ain't got a clue. I've not got a clue. I did it afterwards as well. Afterwards, the day after, and I was put it in. Still struggled. And I don't know why. They swing weight exactly the same shaft. And it's got to be this. It's got to be between my ears. It cannot be anything else. Same grip, same, yeah. Jim, have you found any significant difference in last year's Mizuno wedges versus the new ones, T22 versus new? So the S23 and the T22s are current. They are working alongside each other because we've got different center of gravities. The S23 has got a, S23 wedges have got a, God, trying to get this in camera. There you go. S23 wedges have got that little caveat on the heel there because they're trying to shift the mass towards the toe. The hosel isn't as big either. It's the outside diameter is smaller. So basically we're trying to move center of gravity from the heel, which is a natural in a T22, that's where the center of gravity is. It's slightly towards the heel. So if you're a middle striker or my good friend is a toe striker, then you can get quite a interesting spin profile and distance inconsistency because of strike. Under normal circumstances you wouldn't, because obviously most irons have their middle in the middle, so a slight deviation towards the toes obviously quite minor. If you have a golf club which is like in a wedges, definitely all bladed wedges generally speaking have always had their center of gravity towards, or sweet spot towards the heel. That means you hit the middle, okay, no problem whatsoever, but you hit it towards the toe, big drop-offs. S23 has got their sweet spot in the middle, so if you go heely or toey of that middle point, you're only going to get a minute drop-off. Hit it out, you kind of get that idea. It's good though. I need to do the proper review. Honestly, I haven't done the review yet properly because I'm just been so busy doing everything else. Thanks for such comprehensive reviews. The detail is great. Mitch, it's a pleasure. People who know me, I have very distinct views on things, and I don't care how much money manufacturers will throw at me. I have my distinct view on things. Yeah, although someone hasn't, manufacturer hasn't yet thrown enough money at me to make me change my mind. Throw 10 million at me, I might change my mind. I have a price, it's 10 million. Anyone listening? 10 million, there you go, that's my price. Have you reviewed the TSR driver against any of the new carbon? I have hit the new TSR driver. First thing I thought about it was blooming heck, this is long. Obviously shaft length and stuff, but good driver. It is a good driver. I'm not a great fan initially of the look from the point of view of the shape of it. But you get 20 different people and ask them the same question, you'll get 20 different answers. So, but does it work? Yeah, really, it really does work very, very well. Mitch, how does the original Mizuno STZ compare to the 230? So the 220 and 230, 220 was much more of a stable head. It had a large, massive back weight. It was trying to compare slightly towards what the Ping was, heavy head. The problem I think really that the STZ 220 come up against, and it's twofold. One, they released it too late from Mizuno's point of view. It wasn't Mizuno's fault, it's just the problems that happened all around the world. They physically couldn't get the product into the stores quick enough. So it was late. And so then obviously then you can't sell as much because you haven't got as much time and stuff like that. And then the other one was the fact that because the heavier heads, the heads got heavy because of that heavier back weight for stability point of view, because obviously Mizuno were hunting. They were going through all the different things with face, design of the head, weighting of the head, how to design not a Callaway Beta or a TaylorMade Beta, because you can't beat any of them because they're at the upper levels. Everyone, they're just like peaked. But how do you match that? But that's what they were trying to do, and obviously 230 now they've found it. So that's why 230 now is a 2-year product. There's no point in them keeping releasing. What are they going to release for? What are they going to make any better? They're in a situation of where they've found it and gone, right, I'm happy now, this is going to be 2 years. So the difference really is STZ220 possibly might be fractionally more forgiving still, possibly. But with the balance of things, 230s just on overall, just slightly better, but it's slightly. And the fact that you can get custom fit for 230 and you can't get custom fit for 220 anymore. Right, where are we now? Edwin Lambley, IJ, Arping, the first company to have brought out 5 wedges because of loft. Pitching wedge 41, 45, 50, 51, I don't know. No, you've had other manufacturers that have done similar things, and then they've used different like gap wedges, and then however, it's just manufacturers are continuing to do it, and I personally don't care what if it's got 7 on it, 8 on it, 4. Well, I do care about 4 irons, no like 4 irons. But the main thing is it functional? If it's not functional, it doesn't matter what number it's got on it. It just don't get fit for something which isn't functional. Unfortunately, selling thing when it comes to a custom fit is a sell, and it shouldn't be. Product should sell itself. I have never, ever, ever in any custom fit I've done, I have never. Ever hounded someone for a sale. The reason why I don't, and I'm lucky, the fact that I've never ever been on commission. I never wanted anything to do with commission. Commission's the worst thing in the world, because then I've got a vested interest in how much I can flog you. Not flog you, but you know what I mean. How much I can get you to buy. So I always do paid for fittings. That's the only way that you can, well, in my case, I absolutely stay neutral. I don't care. Just because of what brand I wear, if you were to look at the sales that I have ever done in my whole entire time I've ever done it, actually they're all fairly equal, because all golfers have a fairly equal spectrum of what they require. Yeah. Keep going. Have you reviewed that? I'm going to scroll down now. Have I scrolled down too far? I think I might have scrolled down too far. Jerry, I missed you for a second. Right, Jerry Smith, Jerry Smiley, finally found your live chat. Really enjoy your honest reviews. Thank you very much. Below freezing here in Texas, no golf this week. Global warming. That's a different subject. Jess, do you watch your P7 post? Great stuff. Okay, yeah. What's the best Mizuno iron? What is the best Mizuno iron for a 10 handicap? Where'd you strike it? What do you struggle with? What dynamic loft do you deliver? Richard, send me an email or something if you know all your stats, and I will try to do a little bit better for you. Or get me on Instagram. And what I've actually been doing, daft as it is, because I don't mind this, and I probably shouldn't be saying this on a live stream because it will go mental if not, but it doesn't matter. Catch me on Instagram. I've done this with a couple of people now. I've been busy, I've been working. Someone's popped through a comment on YouTube. I can't be bothered, I'll be honest, to respond to a massive thing with a massive long reply, because it would take me forever to do that rather than what I'm doing. So I basically just sort of said, contact me via Instagram. They've contacted me via Instagram, and I've just basically video messaged them. And say, look, you're saying I can get that done in a minute and a half. Yeah, gets the answer sorted, any kind of follow-up questions done, and it's done in a minute and a half, rather than me sitting and going, dynamic loft, and then you've got to wait for a reply and get all that. So yeah, Instagram me if you've got any complicated things, and do you know what? You never know. When I'm doing what I'm doing, I may even call you and get it sorted out like proper way, straight from the horse's mouth, yeah, kind of idea. Doesn't matter. Right. Lol, we see enough ads. Oh my God, am I that far back? Oh Christ. Sorry people, there is just so much stuff here. I've actually seen the live bit, and it's still going. I was gonna do this, right, as I'm working. So going along, doing my work, and then, oh, I've got a question to answer. No, this has gone crazy. It's good though, and feel free, because that's the whole idea for the channel. Just go crazy, and yeah, that's the whole idea. Thanks for advice. Lots of time here in Norway until season starts in April. Dig in, simulate in every igloo. That's what you need, one of these. Hi Jay, Mark. Hi Mark. I'm looking at getting a new set of irons. Currently Cobra 3100s IH is approximately 15 years old. I know them ones. They came out shortly, was after the Cobra SSIs. Any thoughts on what to look at? Have an average 7-iron clubhead speed of 75 miles an hour. Okay, 75 miles an hour. Depends on how much dynamic loft you want, what kind of requirements you need. Do you want more distance? Do you want more height? I would need to know a little bit more about your, I mean, all the mainstream ones, get custom fit, absolute, definite. And you need to go somewhere which is not biased in any way as to what you get sold or how much you get sold, because you want honest information. There are certain, I'm not allowed to say, but there are certain big name brands. Oh, I will say something now. Someone has just done that. So, okay, I'm not generally a fan of this. I will stop that one. Sorry, I do apologise for not answering, but I want to nip this one in the bud very, very quickly, because it does touch my cold steel heart. I don't agree with ads. I don't. Yeah. However, there's a couple of times that people have done this, and it really means a lot to me, the channel and everything else, because again, I do this for the love of it. I don't do this for clickbait and all that lot. I don't. I have a very moralistic, I keep using it, view on life and view on everything. So I am quite adamant about the information that I want to get regardless. But there's been a couple of occasions now where people have physically sent money, as in super thanks, and in this case Elaine S has just put a $5 top chat to ask a question, and donations like that, obviously you do it off your own back, and that's the best part of it, is the fact that YouTube rams ad down your throat, and obviously you can't choose to have it or not. You just have to, yeah, grin and bear it. But that does mean the world to me. That's, thank you very much, and people that have done that in the past. It does really, really, yeah, thank you. So Elaine said, hi, swing weight on my Miura's WMMT, so I'm getting a bit closer out of focus, apologise. 105 irons are D3 and D4, 5, D4 in 60 pitching, which swing weight and shaft weight should my 3 speciality wedges be? Ooh, that's a really good question, because that is so player specific. I have known as many people to put all different types of shafts in. So typically wedge shafts are slightly heavier. You've got like the wedge flex, which is like S200, S400 or whatever, but it's like that kind of shaft. They're fairly, generally speaking, quite heavyweight. But now you get such just a crazy range of different shafts, and it is purely for the individual. So personally, I prefer a slightly heavier shaft, so I would not be going any lighter than D4, definitely in my wedges, potentially. I just like the feeling of it. I mean, okay, I'm quite lucky that I'm not really too sensitive to it. If it came out C9, I could still use them. I just need to get used to them. But I am different to another person, as that person will be different to another. So I would say I'd possibly go heavier. I would, but test it. Don't ever buy it on the basis of not testing. Test it if you can. Test it with a bit of lead weight on the just to see what it feels like when you're doing certain things. But yeah, that's it. So Elaine, thank you very much. That was much appreciated, and yeah, thumbs up. Right, let's carry on. There we go. Where am I now? Just, hi Jay, Lee Clements. How far have I got? How far have I got? I don't want to miss anyone else's things, because that's the thing. No, okay, right, cool. What's the best club for a 15-inch handicap to aspire to go to lower? Blade, just get your blade out, and then those ones that you fuzz your fingers and you get phalange fuzz will teach you not to hit it in that spot again, no. I always want, I mean, I did have blades and stuff like that when I was younger and stuff, so learning on those things, you do know what the importance of strike is. But more so when it comes to old school blades are a little bit different to new style. New style are actually pretty forgiving, more so than what people would say. And how things are constructed now, you don't seem to get as much fuzz, that vibration up the shaft as you used to get. So go something like JPX 923 forged, or a Mizuno Pro 225 from the point of view Mizuno, i525 when it comes to, or i230 when it comes to a ping, that kind of idea. Those will definitely get, I mean, i525s you can play into your scratch, so can i230s. There is so many different things. Oh, my son's calling me. I'll message him later. And then, thanks for the info. Did you buy Mizuno T22 quart wedges after review? Did you buy? No, I am very lucky, and I will say this out loud. I am very lucky to basically, I am given my stuff to review. Yeah, all the YouTube reviewers. I'm not calling myself an influencer. I hate that term. Because I don't influence. The whole idea is I should give people that view an honest understanding of what that golf club does, good or bad. Certain good things, certain bad things. But from a point of view of, yeah, it shouldn't be anything me telling you, go buy this, go buy that, no. Yeah. But I have got a T22 copper wedge and they look lovely. Right. Love your honesty, Jay. Good. Some people don't, I can guarantee you that. Thanks for your advice. Lots of time here in Norway until the season starts. And anything seems like, well, okay, I've done that. Hi, I've done that one. I'm getting close to the end. I've got a feeling I'm getting close to the end. Hi, Jay. Purchase MP20, looking at more distance, but love the feel. Any advice? Yeah, if you love the feeling of that. Well, the interesting thing is looking for more distance. Okay, so what stops you just using the 6 rather than the 7? Because once you're in that bracket of you're loving something like a 221, which is a pure on blade, but then you want more distance, what you got to do is basically just use one more club. That's when it comes to it, that's effective. If you then turn around and say, like, I love the distance, but when I go up one more club, it doesn't go high enough, okay, then we're going to look at a completely different bodied iron to try and get the center of gravity further back, which unfortunately does mean making the sole slightly thicker. But if you were then going to something like a 225, possibly, if you want to keep the look of the 221, because 221, 225 blend quite nicely. I just haven't found anyone yet on Facebook that will buff up, you know, polish a 225, like the same thing as a 221. Right. Jim Anderson, Jay, do you have any recommendation for a swing tool that is highly effective to aid with increasing driver swing speed? Yeah, they'll have those, what's it called, sticks, don't they, with the lead weight on the end of them. Yeah, my memory fails me, unfortunately. But they're pretty good doing speed training with your current stuff. So as a case of always make sure at the end when you're fully warmed up, you leave 10 balls there to whack the driver as hard as you possibly can do. Don't care where they go or anything else like that. Make sure you do it when you're warmed up. Don't go first ball out of the bucket on there, get out of the car, you know, put a whack and do a spine, yeah. No. Just whack it as hard as you can for the last 10. You're just trying to get your muscles much more used to working at a much, much higher effort level, and that becomes more normal. That's the whole idea. So, STZ versus Cobra forgiveness. STZ marginally, although the Cobra, I need to do the full review. Yeah, got to do that. ES21 had centre of gravity in the centre. How might the 23 differ? It doesn't. That's from Goldfish. Is it Gold? No, it's not. It's not. It's Goldfish. No D. So, for a second now I called you an orange fish. No. So the ES21 was exactly the same effectively as the new S23. The differences with the ES21, they had a much thicker top plate trying to move the centre of gravity up the face as well for when it comes to tuning vertical centre of gravity, not just horizontal. But the new S23 will take over the ES21 because the S23 is a much more of a it's a much more of a normal looking golf club than the ES21. ES21 were lovely, were great, and it's like model revision 1, but they were a bit sort of unique, like the high toe wedges are and stuff like that. This one is, yeah, the S23 is more normal, and it blends much more into the new 923 forged lineup. That's what the whole idea was. Right, next one. Hi Jay, late to the party, apologise. Chris, don't worry, my technical prowess was late to the party as well. I'm not keeping this live stream. Best driving iron is at the Mizuno Pro. It's possibly one of the longest. I can remember doing the 225, sorry, 225, the Mizuno Pro Fly High, and it was just, it was crazy, but I had it in a 2-iron. I've never used it in a 2-iron. Would I use one? No, I wouldn't, because it's still not going to do my hybrid. But if you're playing on a seaside golf course, a links golf course, or a golf course where you want to keep it under the wind or something like that, having those kind of golf clubs are, yeah, they are mental. Hard fairways, fast fairways, they'll go as far as your driver. Eric, hi Eric. Hi Jay, really appreciate reviews. Thanks for all the work. What do you think is more forgiving, a 223 or JPX 923 Tour? Thanks. 223. Yep. Just don't put a Modus 115S in it. Shaft. Don't like that shaft. Probably one of the only shafts ever I didn't get on with. But no, the 223 is a blooming good iron. It's possibly, yeah, it is more forgiving than 923 Tour. But 923 Tour looks better, even though, yeah, it's satin. But then again, 223 is kind of satin as well. Bayou Bengal. Apologies if I have got that wrong. Jay, is it possible to have a mixed set of 923 Pro and Forged? Yes. You just got to be careful a little bit with the lofting. Alain S, I just noticed down on here, because I haven't caught up yet, you retracted a message. I don't know what it was, but I want to thank you again for your very, very, very kind £5 donation. There we go. I don't really agree with ads. YouTube, I can't do anything about it. That's what it is. However, it does touch my little stony heart when people send super thanks and what's it called, chat. Thank you, people. Right, next one. So yeah, just have to be a little bit careful of the lofts and stuff like that. But yes, you can. Definitely, definitely. 923 Hot Metal Pros in the 5-iron, 6-iron, and then drop it into 7-iron and stuff like that. When it comes to say 221, 225, rather than bending the lofts all around and spoiling what is a very, very nice set of golf clubs, think about having 2 of the same number. So 7 and 7, 34 against 30, and then running your 225 7-iron, say slightly half-inch long, the rest of them half-inch long, so it runs around your normal set. That's the whole idea of doing it properly. Bill Levitt, Billy from Boston here. Hello, Billy from Boston. I'm assuming that's not Boston in the UK, that's Boston in the other part of the pond. Thank you for all you do. Love the reviews and your in-depth analysis on strikes and the club face. Nothing feels like a Mizuno. Well, kinda. Yeah, there's a long story about that, but yeah, you're right. Joseph Fernandez. Hello Jay, appreciate your videos. I currently use C-Tape 120 stiffs in my irons. Oh, big boys. Fairly linear bend profile. They're very, well, I'd say strong, but they're very, most shafts have got like the EI curve moves around. Basically a C-taper light is just like, and it's quite stiff. Good shaft though. In my new ones, I'm looking to try something new. No issues, any recommendations? Does necessarily need to be LS style shaft? A low spin style shaft. Go anywhere you can to go on the Swing DNA tool. Don't mess around. Don't. I was going to use another word, but can't. YouTube guidelines. Don't mess around. Just go somewhere, even if you're not having any intention whatsoever to go get on a Swing DNA tool. Using a Swing DNA tool properly can narrow down massively, not just what shaft you need or what kind of shaft you need, but why. And that gives you an understanding not so just of how you swing, but why you swing the way you do and how you create the shaft deflection the way you do, which then puts your swing much more of like a knowledge base in your head and understanding how you do things and why you do things. Yes, Mizuno Swing DNA tool, just go somewhere who know how to use it properly. And it's a great tool, really is. Answers so many questions. Chris, what's in your bag this year? Need to do one of them, don't I? I'm a stickler, and I like, once I like what I like, I keep it in there for a little while until I can find something which is like more than tangible benefit for changing. We have Richard Skinner. We have, thanks for the Instagram offer. I will hit you up. Oh, and Richard has just sent, Richard, thank you very much. That, again, that is exceptionally kind. I appreciate it greatly, I really do. Again, I will say it again, I don't like ads. YouTube, that's the world of YouTube. It puts them in, I can demonetize it, yeah, but obviously I'm not doing this for free because it takes a lot of time. But that means more to me than anything when it comes to that, because ads you've got to sit through and oh, here we go. But one person has made a conscious decision to support the channel and support me in doing what I do for everybody, because I love doing it and I've got a passion to make sure that everyone has the right information. So Richard, thank you very much. And yeah, hit me up through Instagram and we'll have a video conversation about whatever you'd like to talk about. So, well, where are we going to? Gavin, Jay, it's great you don't do the clickbait thing. It's embarrassing. I've stopped following a few YouTubers, Average Golfer and James Robinson, to name a few. Well, yeah, I'm not gonna, so my whole idea, now when I done that video a few days ago and to explain basically why I do things and stuff like that, it's basically like I'm chatting now really, but you do it in a proper video and stuff, so you kind of get everyone to go down and click, and the comments went mental. 99.99999% of them were people were just absolutely just really lovely, and thank you so much for the support, and because that's the reason why I do it, to try and help people. This is a game, it's a wonderful game, but blooming frustrating, and it's a business as well, so people are out there to make money, and I just want to try as best we can do to try and get the right information out there. So I don't pick on any particular person's channel. I think there's a lot of information out there which is good. I do think there's a lot of information out there which is very clickbaity, and I don't like it necessarily. I cringe when I see certain things, especially when you understand the laws of physics and certain things, and I'm thinking, well, why don't you give head data then? If it's like that and it's that good, or it's that, why are we not seeing head data then? Anyway, but yeah, it's fine. That's why I also don't do on-course testing. On-course testing is great for cinematic stuff, and people like seeing people on a golf course, which I do. I like watching golf. But if you haven't got a perfect playing field, but golf course, where it's got undulations and everything. I've done so many tests on golf courses where you look on quad, hit certain things, you think that's longer, go to the next one, but why is it shorter? Well, because it's up slopes and stuff like this, and it's not fair. If I was to be able to sit there and hit 100 shots, and on average, yes, they would be longer, but on the odd one here, there, on a really small section of data, then yeah, that's why I don't do it. Here we go. Niels Alexson DKK. What's a DKK? I don't know. I must admit, 45 something. What's DKK? What's the currency? DKK. I'm showing ignorance now. Niels Alexson has just, I'm thinking, has sent 45 DKK, whatever that is. DKK. Don't know what DKK is. Or whatever. So I'm so ignorant now. I'm just gonna have to Google that. Danish krone. There we go. So 1 Danish krone is equal to 0.12. So 0.12 times 45 is £5.40. That, thank you very much. There you go. So not only did we get Niels Alexson sent that, which is really, really as lovely. Thank you very much. I've learned something as well. Danish kron. There you go. I'm so stupid. I've got a very focal point of knowledge. There are certain things I'm just dumb as, yeah. Don't put me in a pub quiz unless it's about certain nerdy stuff, and I'm really good at that. Okay, so Alberto. Hello, Alberto. I hope you're well. Yeah, it's been a long time. Thank you very much for joining in. I was looking to change my driver this year and was wondering, I'm typically a centre of gravity player. What are your thoughts? Get fit. That's the thing, get fit. That's all you can do, is go somewhere where you're trustworthy, uses the right technology. I'm a great fan of Foresight because it's measured, and go with, don't buy straight away. Definitely do not buy straight away, but make sure that you gain the information, absorb it. If you don't understand, ask questions. I've loved some of the best coaching sessions that I've ever done, and some of the most enjoyable custom fits that I've done is we're having robust conversation. There is a definite two-way communication of question, answer, understanding, and it's so just use it as a learning experience. Do as many of them as you need. Throw away the rubbish that you get taught and stuff, because you will go some places and you think, why have I just spent an hour doing that? But there's going to be some great information out there, and just go buy when you're ready to buy. And if there's any way that I can help in whatsoever, then just by all means send me a message. And if there's enough information and the right information I can help, I always, if I can, I will. Gavin, thanks for the heads up on the carry back wedges. You saved me 100 quid. Just don't tell which manufacturer I've just saved 100 quid. Don King, I mean, bought the 20. Okay. You meant you bought. Okay, sorry. They are gorgeous. Don, they are gorgeous. They really are. Mark Bellon, Jay, thank you for all your reviews. Sorry, I will go back to you. Joseph Gundez, $10 US. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you. That means the world. I'm not one for getting a little bit choked up. I'm not one of these people, I must admit. My wife calls me Data sometimes. You know, of Star Trek, the android. She also calls me Edmund out of Peppa Pig, because my little 2-year-old, soon to be 3, Saturday. Yeah, got to go to the party. Apparently, I'm doing pass the parcel or something. I'll pin the tail on the donkey. I don't know. I'm in charge of something. And yeah, she calls me Edmund because Edmund knows everything. Edmund the elephant. Right. Jay, thank you for all your reviews. I think you are fantastic. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. I do. I appreciate everything that everyone's doing. It is. Yeah. This is the reason why I do it. Always look forward to any and every one of your videos. Cheers. Cool. Richard, have you tested the new Stealth 2? Is it more forgiving than Stealth 1? And this can be realistically measured. I haven't actually done it yet. No, I haven't. I need to, but I've just been so busy with stuff. What I don't want to do, this thing is, it's really, again, it's that kind of clickbaity thing, is concentrate on your big wins first. Just ramming all the stuff out there that you know you're going to get big wins for. Now, the difference is, if you're making content, and this is the whole thing, you'd need to make good content takes time. And to do it right, especially with drivers, I'm hitting a lot of shots. I'll be honest, I get tired, my old body. And so when I'm hitting that many, I need to pace myself, sorry, when it comes to doing that. So I like to try and interject it with other things which won't test my body so much, because this time of year goes crazy and my elbows and stuff hurt after doing driver releases and stuff, because obviously I hit so many shots. Right, next one. Elaine, thank you very much, by the way, Elaine. Great greetings from Miami, Florida. If adding tip weight of 2 to 4 grams to irons to balance swing weight after installing medium-sized grip, would that weight favour the centre of gravity of the club towards the heel? Yes, it would. And it also would change the bend profile characteristics of the shaft. So as long as you're doing it with the understanding of how it would affect certain things, then by all means, yeah, there's all. Ping have been adding tip weights and tungsten toe weights to the golf clubs for a little while to try and increase and decrease and tweak centre of gravity. Since they took CTP port away, that's probably the most effective way to do it, because obviously you put in mass either side of the strike point, increasing to a small degree MOI. Moment of inertia. Alex Edar. Hey, thanks Jay for doing the live. I still love my HMBs. Yeah, they're good golf clubs. Bought them after your review. What's your opinion on the new X grind wedges? How do you compare against the Titleist T grind wedges? Wedges are individual to everybody. I will give you my opinion on a wedge. However, when it comes to wedges, because you don't just hit them like a pitching wedge, you don't hit them just like an 8-iron, they are so nuanced in their usage. You have to get properly custom fit for, if you're going for a custom wedge. It's different if you're a fairly high handicapper and you're just looking for loft gaps. That's a different thing. If you're a good player and you're using your wedges different ways, open and closing faces, sort of changing dynamic lie on them all the time, using one different grinds depending on how you're doing things, yeah, you're going to need a proper wedge fitting. But yeah, horses for courses when it comes to grinds and wedges. Ian Murgatroyd, what a name, that's really good. And I do apologise, I haven't done that justice. Are you ever going back to forgiveness percentages of the club face? Found them very useful. I did also, Ian. Now the problem with face mapping and the percentages, now they are really useful. However, to do it properly, what you have to do is you have to have a boatload, and I'm talking a boatload of data, and not just from one person hitting it, you have to have it from load of people hitting it, absolutely loads and loads and loads of people hitting it. So when you get all that information, then you take off all the chaff, what I call the chaff as such. So everyone's got a certain degree of deviation in their face to path and stuff like that. There's shot shape patterns and stuff. And so for that player, then you take off all the ones where the face to path relationships were like wild. And then as long as the capture of the actual dynamics were within a very small margin and they just misstruck it, you can take that information. Obviously that information takes a really long time to go through and get rid of, and it just, unfortunately, this is the thing, it just takes too long to do a video. It takes long enough for me to do the stuff that I do with me hitting it all the time on different parts of the face for a bit of fun. Oh, it's not a bit of fun, you know what I mean? It's for me to try and obviously find out. But it's yeah, it's crazy. And when I was at so Bury Golf Range had closed. So when it was there, obviously there was many more people, and obviously different users, obviously custom fits constantly to do that. And I was capturing information. I was basically not stealing, but I was using other people's information to further my understanding of how a golf club works. And to do some form of review on it, obviously but it's so labour intensive. I understand why the reviewers don't do it. That's the only thing. Where's the next one? Lee Clements. Hi Lee, big thanks for the advice, which is straight and unbiased. Also, keep up with the great content. I try. Popping up, oh, there we go. Oh, Goldfish, thank you. I've just noticed that you've sent me $5. Thank you very much. And thank you. it means the world when people do that. It does, and I will keep on saying it every single time people do that. No different when people do super thanks and stuff like that on a video. that shows me that people care, people want to support the channel and stuff like that. That's why I don't like YouTube when it comes to adverts. We all have to sit through them and stuff like that. I get it. But when you're dealing with when people, I tell you what, every single person that puts money in like that, yeah, I don't care. I will message me on Instagram and I will do a dedicated chat. I'll find the time for us to have a chat. Doesn't matter where you are in the world. Yeah, we'll do that. Anyone who donates will automatically get that because too right. That's such a lovely thing to do. Thank you. What we got? Alex said, thanks Jay for providing us all the club review. It's helped me tremendously in understanding club design and how to choose my next signs. Good. Thank you very much for that one. And that's the whole idea of doing it. I'm someone who's struggling with dynamic loft and sticking to lower spin designs. What was the best decision? Okay. What was the best decision? Thank you, you're live. Realised that. Okay, yeah, cool. It's good. Kevin Bedell, yeah. I've got, my screen is so far away and the writing is tiny. And I tell you what, when I was 20, I could probably read it really easy. Now I'm older than that. I just have to do this a little bit. Right. i230 versus JPX 923, good matchup, and are they going to head? I can do one. It was an interesting one because obviously i230 is 33 degrees for the 7 iron, and the closest one that would be to JPX 923 Tour, which then, but they're different iron constructions, so you'd possibly say the forged would be closest to the i230, but interesting matchup. But I could do it if there's enough love for it. I'll do it. David Edmonds, hi, love my Mizuno MP54. Back in the day, really good irons, but tough to hit. What would you suggest upgrading to a similar feel, but a bit more forgiveness? i230 is brilliant. i230 is brilliant. It's one of my favourite irons ever. It's got a lovely feel for a ping, and that's not disrespecting ping whatsoever. But ping have always had this thing of ping like that. It's the the hint is in the name. But no, they have, and so them making something like that, it's just I mean, it's very, very good. Andy Woods, hi Andy. Hi Jay. What do you think about people who do custom fit with range balls? What do you think? What do you think? Yeah. My mate spent £450 on a Stealth having been fitted using range balls. Okay, so the range balls are normal balls, full flight balls, not flight restricted in any way at all. As in they are normal ionomer or Surelink cover with a normal core, yeah, it's okay. However, generally speaking, Rangers will not do that. Why? Because they cost a fortune, and so they won't do it, yeah, and they break more and stuff like that. So generally speaking, Rangers will put in range balls, which are a lot of the time they're restricted flight because they launch lower and spin more and stuff like that, but they're durable. They go through the wash, they get picked up in those discs and stuff like that, they go through the wash again, tipped in the basket, in a ball, whacked down there, picked up. They're designed to last. Anyone who's being fit, or actually no, because it's not the customer's fault in any way, shape or form, because the customer, no disrespect at all meant, the customer is ignorant to this. They're going somewhere because they're professionals. They should know whatever they're doing is right because they're professionals. No, unfortunately, there are so many bad things that are still happening. One of which, there you go. Get off my soapbox now. It drives me insane. When people are spending that much money, for the love of all that's holy, make sure that you just do them justice and do it right. They're willing to spend the money anyway, yeah? Okay, I'm one of these people that's saying that unless there's a tangible benefit from buying something, I always do the test against their driver and another one. And even at the end of it, if it's 7 yards longer, I'm saying, well, you already carry it 290 yards. Do you really care if it's 297? It's £500. That decision is up to you. To me, that's not a tangible benefit. I wouldn't spend £500 on 7 yards. Unless I really like the colour, or you know what I mean. But it's it's every justification is different for every individual, and £500 to someone, it might fall out of their back pocket. Where did that 500 quid go? Ah, well, don't worry about it. Other people, £500 is a lot of money and has to justify a huge amount to do it. But there you go. So horses for courses, I guess. Jack Woods. Hello, Jack. Hope you're well. Did we chat on Instagram? No, Messenger. Instagram. I can't remember now. Were you Australia? Someone. Yeah, sorry. When delofting hybrids from Mizuno, Cobra, etc., does it close the club face? Delofting, that opens them up because there's an offset camber adapter. As you move it, it has a tendency to, as you take loft down, it opens it up, and as you add loft, it opens it up. But there's ways around it as well. So yeah. Oh, Jake Heckman, thank you. I've just noticed that. That's a very, 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 very kind of you. I just noticed that's just come through. When I say I just noticed that's come through, it's I'm slowly getting down the list, and I'm winning. I think I'm winning. Just. Right, so I'm getting there, but no, Jake, thank you very, very much for your kind donation. It means the world. And I tell you what, I will read your thing right now. Just got fit for JPX 923 Hot Metal Pros and love them. Good, great. Really appreciate all your info going into this session. Question, if I use the 4-iron at 19 degrees, it's a hot 4-iron, any ideas on how you'd fill out between the 4-iron and driver? Right, so how I basically always do a fitting is, and I do this all the time, I get your longest iron, wherever it be, 4-iron, 5-iron, doesn't matter what it be, then do your fit for your driver, and then you've got your gap in between your longest iron and then your driver. And then I find out, sensibly, what's the smallest amount of golf clubs I can use to fill that void. Not just because you've got 14 slots in the old girl you can put in there, doesn't mean you need to fill them. So make sure that you have enough, yeah, that kind of idea. But I would do on a sensible gap in, understand obviously then what you want to, like for the 3-wood or something like that. Do you want a T replacement tool? So when the driver's not working, you can go to, say, a 3-wood. Do you not care about that? Are you worried about more so your longest wood going into a green? So then we look at probably doing a 5-wood or a 4-wood, strengthening up your 5-wood. There's so many different options, but that's the whole idea of custom fitting. You custom not only because you've got gaps to fill, but you custom with the individual. You have a conversation, you find out what the golfer wants, and then you're always moving and changing your understanding of what direction you're going to go with when it comes to the customer and what they're going to potentially buy on the basis of the conversation you're having in the two-way understanding, because you're learning, as I'm learning as much as you are when it comes to what you want to do. Right, thank you very much, Jake. I appreciate that more than you know. Goldfish is my 7-letter vehicle license plate combining golf and fish. Oh, mate, people make me chuckle. It's brilliant, well done. Golf season is about as long as the open water fishing season, too short in Minnesota, April through to September 30th. That's funny. I do like that. Gavin J, are graphite shaft better on the wrists, elbows, joints, or is it a myth? No and yes, yes and no. Graphite will absorb more shock than steel. A lot of it has to do with the grip. So going oversized grips, thicker grips and that lot, but of a, say like a CP2, which is a softer compound rubber, will do a lot. But more than shafts, it's the surface you're hitting from. So in here, you can't see. Down there, anyway. I've got Divot Mat V1, as in I'm working on V2. So it's basically just, I mean, the Divot Mat that I've got here, so basically when you hit something heavy, rather than hitting and bouncing off, my Divot Mat gives, it just allows the golf club to bounce down, and it basically allows then the golf ball to hit high in the face to simulate what a high strike would be. And because it's the fact that it's a Divot Mat, it's really good on your joints. So I've hit loads and loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of shots here, and it's been, yeah, considering the amount of shots that I do hit at certain times of the year for, yeah, it gets crazy. Right. Ian, I got the name spot on. Fine, cool, good, thanks, because I'm terrible generally speaking. PJ as 09, hi mate, from Oz. Hello Oz. Or should I go, no, poor joke. Hope you're well. Thanks for the channel, help me have courage and knowledge to get another fitting after 2 to 3, yeah, unfortunately there are so many bad stories, and a lot of it is, and I'm not picking on any big name brands as in chains of stores and anything like that, but unfortunately as soon as you've got this thing called commission muddying the waters, you really need to go somewhere where there is no commission whatsoever. It's a paid for fitting, because my experience is paid for fittings, and when there is absolutely no commission involved whatsoever, the fitter is there for you. Of course, it's always nice to get a sale for the business side of things, but if the fitter is a self-employed fitter and he's not on commission and he's only on the session pay, generally speaking, you're on the way to at least guaranteeing a more of an unbiased and honest fit. Paul Wilson, yes, I'm in. It's loud and clear. Oh yeah, you're okay. Yeah. How are I? Custom auto dip. Your message has been retracted. What have you said? Unless you wanted to add some more, because you've just worked with that. So custom auto drip, not dip, drip. What's your thoughts on MP23? Great iron. I just got fitted for a set, by far the softest irons I've ever hit. Tried 221s. I hear Miura is even softer. Thoughts? Yeah, try 221s. It's down to the metal and the construction and stuff like that. So when Mizuno moved from MP5 to MP18 and they changed their construction to a HD process where they have a much more tighter, like a 3-dimensional compressive blah blah blah. It does make for a more consistent forging and stuff like that, but it does tighten the grain up. The problem is when you tighten the grain up, it makes the feeling a bit harsher, a bit more clicky. And they found that, and I found that in MP18. I hated MP18. I didn't like MP18 really at all. SCs were pretty good, but the blades, no, didn't like them. Now, when they went from MP18 to MP20, they put that copper in. And I was having a little conversation with a comment on YouTube. I was talking about, I think it was with the 923 Tours, because they got copper, and it was running on from that, that the copper doesn't do anything. Well, again, that's subjective. He was a metallurgist and stuff like that. He was, from what I was saying. And so I can't tell you if he's right or wrong. I can only tell you what I can hear and I can feel. Which is mostly those. If I go to a 223 tour and a 921 tour, there is a difference. The only difference really is copper. Try 221s, they're lovely. Miuras are lovely as well, don't get me wrong. Mizuno Pro 225 versus JPX 9234. Again, see, this is blooming YouTube again. Now would be a good time to insert an ad. Go away, YouTube. See, I've got input now. I can turn you off. Right. That's a good compare. I'll do that. 225 versus 923 forged. That's on the list to be done. That's Matt Cardigan. Cardone. Sorry, not Cardigan. Cardone. Matt Cardone. That is on the list. I will do that. David Edmonds, thanks for the feedback, really appreciate it. I did try the i230 and MP225, two completely different irons. Is a toss-up with those. The two different irons, so different classes though, but 225 hollow-bodied head, still got copper, still got a little bit more punch to it, and i230. I mean, it's a very, very nice feeling. Probably, yeah, it's next to Blueprint when it comes to feel. Jake Hetman, thank you, appreciate the advice. My welcome, Jake, anytime. And Phil, again, for your very, very, very kind donation, thank you. Feel free to Instagram me, and then we'll get on Instagram and we'll do a video call and we'll answer a few more questions if you've got any. Next one, Goldfish. Best DIY method to lengthen a set of irons 3/4 of an inch. You can do it. You can do it easily if you've got the right equipment. So you'll need to either blow or cut the grip off. You're going to re-grip it, doesn't really matter. You need some shaft extensions and need some epoxy glue. There you go, whack it in, and then, yeah, because you can cut the extension off and stuff like that, so do it and then re-grip it. Double-sided tape, effectively, and then it's white spirit, or blow them on. Yeah. For them, again, if people like messing around DIY, by all means do it yourself. It's a bit of fun and stuff like that. If you're competent to do it. If you're not, it doesn't really cost that much. And yeah, so, but PJS 5 wood instead of 3 wood. Looking at our cost stats, just don't seem to use 3 wood. 5 wood's generally speaking more functional, and unless you've got a lot of speed, 3 wood's really difficult to hit. Alfonso Ordonez. Sorry, Alfonso, I appreciate it. Yeah, terrible at this, sorry. In addition to this length question, any issue with cutting long irons 7, 6, 5, 4, etc., the same length? Just cut out, not purchasing Cobra 1 length. I'm not a great fan of, there's a reason why there's stepping. The reason why there's stepping is obviously to increase club head speed. And then we move the golf ball further forward to increase launch, because angle attack reduces, and also effective dynamic loft increases. And so that's why we have that stepping. We need the extra speed from the extra ½ inches increments to help that golf ball propelled through the air, because unless you've got a boatload of speed, if you just keep dropping that loft down, gravity will have an effect. And no, custom dip, thanks, will do, appreciate the response, no problem. Custom auto, I swear you can't put your actual name. Custom auto drip, good name though. Graham, hello Smith, good last name. I play Project X 6.5 for 5 years. I've been fitted twice years ago. I am looking for new irons, so should I test different irons using only this shaft, or should I? Right, okay, so shafts generally speaking are transferable within reason, as long as you know the head weights, etc., of the different manufacturers that you are going to test. That's the problem when it comes to how many years young are you? Actually, I'd say I don't mind. Other people will, there's other people on YouTube that won't say how old they are. I'm 43. There you go, I'm getting old. It's just my youthful looks. Wearing a hat helps. It takes years off. But yeah, so should I try it, mate? So yeah, so when it comes to heads, shafts are generally speaking transferable, yes they are, but not always. So what you need to do is know what kind of head weights you can deal with different manufacturers, and if they're very, very close, then you can use a transferable shaft like a Project X 6.5, as long as it will go in, and because of tip, all this, right, it doesn't matter. But yeah, effectively you can. I just need to press a little button, because it's saying that my screen is going off in 5 minutes. Yeah, I know. How long have I been on here? Is this going to be the longest ever chat, ever? I haven't really noticed. Chris Parker, I did say, so it's message retracted, I did see I. That you deleted I. That's right. Bill Ryan, data doesn't age. Well, that's true. That's very true. Well, actually, he does. If you see him in his last few films, he quite clearly does, unfortunately. Then Picard, have they done the season? I can't remember which season was now. Is it season 2 or 3? Season 3, I don't know. I've watched both of them, whatever ones they are. Really good. I actually quite liked it. They're a bit different, but yeah, a bit more dark in certain aspects, but really good. I like it. Right, I have caught up. Oh, thank God. Right, the whole idea of that was to basically, was to do some work. And while I work, answer some questions. Didn't work, did it? No. Ian, 43, now but a nipper, 60 years. Oh wow, 60 years this year and still playing off 4. But do you know what, really, kudos to you, Ian, honestly. And yes, kudos to you, honestly, I mean that. Trevor, I know I wear 2, 1 on my head, the other way. Sorry, that's my, yeah. I know I wear two, one on my head, the other over my face. I'm being stupid. Sorry, I don't get it. I have been known to be stupid from time to time. Rewrite that in a more simplified way that a stupid English person can understand. Niels, you don't bend to fit the lie on the irons, why not really? You don't bend to fit the lie on the irons, why not really? Oh, so when it comes to my reviews that I do on certain things, they come through media samples, they'll come through as whatever they are. Time, more than anything else. I could bend them, so basically for me, I know what happens. I don't like it. Is it gonna make the golf club or golf ball go slightly more to the right under normal circumstances? Yes, it will do. I can, if I really want to, I can drop my hands, so I could funk delivery. That your hat makes you younger. Cheers, Trevor. Yeah, I like it. It does make me look younger. You don't want to look like why? Because unfortunately, as I've been follically challenged as an adult. I've got lights here. It's not a good look. It's got a very strong light up here. It's really not a good look. If you imagine what a disco ball looks like, just, yeah, you kind of got the idea. Right, so what we go, GeoS lingo, it just means cool sense of style, something that looks nice, etc. So you say, my YouTube channel is dripping, my clubs are drip. Really? Well, I've heard of people call it, you know, that's the, you know, that swear word that I won't say, but, and as a good thing. I don't, really, that's dripping, man. It's dripping, man. Nah, I won't catch on in my vocabulary, unfortunately. I'm a little bit stuck in my ways. But I appreciate the education. It is well worth it. Steve Wimmer, I'm toe down on on all my shots, but I miss left, so can't do upright clubs. Any tips on helping my toe down divots? Yes. Right, okay. So, toe down divots and still moving the blooming thing left. Right, so, can I do this? Bear with for a second. I'm gonna do this and back. There you go. I'm hoping that worked. I apologise if it didn't. Audio is broken. Oh, that didn't work, did it? So, okay. Right, I've learned something there. Right, so basically I hope, I'll do that again, but from like that point. I can understand now. So basically my microphone is attached to that camera which runs on there. As soon as I move to those cameras, because they're running, yeah. So what I need to do next time is I need to run the microphone which goes from that into this camera, into the PC. That is my PC microphone, so regardless of what feed I use, I'm learning as we go along. I apologise for the distinct lack of technical knowledge there. So basically what I'm saying on that one is that if you have a toe down and still going left, that means you've got a face which is closed. So what you need to do is we need to know your paths. If you're coming across the path, that could give you very easily a high handle delivery. And by moving your path, that would then, in 90% of people, drop your handle down. If you can drop your handle down, obviously, then that's no problem. But you need to do it in two folds. You need to make sure you get your club delivery correct, so fairly neutral, and then also bend your lights to suit what they are then needed to be. If you've got a problem with going left and toe down, if you're delivering a golf club into a really hard Summers fairway, you're going to potentially get twists and everything, and it's just not going to be very good whatsoever. Apologise for the sound. That is a very short version of what I was doing there. Yeah. Where was I down there? Can't hear you. There's no sound. I am sorry. Audio is broken, but it looks cool. Thanks for that. It was looking great. We couldn't hear a thing you were saying, but it does look good. Mark Bullen, think we are missing out on Jay Gold. Think we are missing out on Jay Gold. I thought you were miming. Oh yeah, this is still from the point when I was over there, yeah. Sorry. Technical stuff. You can hear me now though, yeah? I'm guessing. You should be able to hear me now, I flicked over. Steve, good, cool. So, yeah, apologise for the poor technical stuff. Would it be easy going from hot metals to the forged or MP25? If you're going to be migrating from a hot metal to something like that, then yeah, I'd test it definitely, because they are two very, very different golf clubs built around a similar idea. They're the transition, they're the bridging club from sort of JPX to MP. It's an interesting one. I think I would go, it depends on which way you want to go. If you want to progress further after 25, then I'd probably go 25. If you're thinking that I'm gonna stick with the JPX and I want to stay with something like a forged, and stick with that. There is one other reason why I would go JPX 923 forged over MP25 225, and this is an honest one. 923 forged are cheaper. There you go. But again, you test them first, and there's always going to be a multitude of different reasons as to why you're going to make a decision on one over the other, and that decision could be many different things. Could be looks, could be feel, could be cost, could be performance, could be height of what you get on sale, could be stopping distance, could be spin rates, could be any different thing you're going to get this. So I would make sure, yeah, just get fit and then make your decision based on every single piece of information that you can, yeah, muster. Right, should I stop this now? I haven't got any work done, because I have got literally loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of messages, and it is just, it really, really appreciative. It really, really is. I've got so many on there, some really good questions, some very, very good questions. And I got some really good questions before I even knew how to do the chat thing. Sorry. So as long as everyone has had their say now, I will disappear, because I think we've done enough now. This has been Tony. Hi Jay, I'm using 921 Hot Metal Pros up to 5-iron. Any good hybrids to blend? Any of the hybrids will blend with those. With anything else, I mean, 921s, they were 29 degree a lofted, were they 29 degree lofted, 30 degree, 29, something like that, for a 7.9. So the good things, Trevor says, #1 YouTuber. I'll probably be, I'd like the thing as #1 honest YouTuber. But yeah, I always think when I was young, well, even now, there's two things I hate being called. Lazy, I hate being called lazy, and I hate being called dishonest. Are the two things I don't like. And that kind of gives you an idea what I'm like. Cheers, Jay, thank you for all your time. No, I appreciate that. I did a drink, YouTube drink. Can anyone who's still watching, can remember years ago, 2018, 2019, when I was doing, I was doing some live streams then. I used to have a YouTube drink. I used to do a YouTube live stream, doing bits and pieces, whatever the review was, or a chat about this. Then I used to do another one once I come off, which would never go on YouTube anyway. And I used to have a little YouTube drink. I don't know if anyone can remember that. Back in the day. So back in the day, the problem is I've done all this before. The problem is if you don't use it, you lose it. And it's a case of trying to work out everything. But yeah, so, right, I want to say to everybody, thank you, UNMC the best. Mark was the person who motivated me to start doing YouTube. So I have, Ask Golf Nut is down to Mark Crossfield, so I take my hat off to Mark, because without Mark, I would have never done it. So it's been very good live chat so far. Do this more. I will do it more. And do you know what? If there's been so the things that have really, there's two things so from doing this. I didn't believe I was going to get this many on here, and I know about the different parts of the technical side, so I can get it right. I never actually got to talk about the one thing that I wanted to talk about today, so I'm gonna have to do that again. It doesn't matter, but. Two things. One is the huge input from Ask Golf Nut community, the people that are asking questions and stuff like that. And feel free, you can chat between yourselves and stuff like that, because it's great to see that people. Let's grab an IPA YouTube drink. Wow, I can't say what I can't say what it is, because that'd be product placement. But it's 3 words. First word's got 3 letters in it. The last word has got 3 letters in it. And the middle word is speckled. And the other thing I want to say, and it is to every single person, so I will name them now to say thank you very much. Jake Heckman, thank you very, very much for donating $10 to me. Again, I'll say this now, and this for every single thing. When it comes to YouTube, I can't do anything about the adverts, because obviously adverts, YouTube puts them in there, it is monetized, and I'm not doing this for free, I'll be honest, I'm not, because I still have to earn some money from doing it to justify me doing it. But yeah, that means so much more to me than any kind of YouTube advert, because a YouTube advert I can't do anything about, and I can't do anything about when it comes to you guys, that you have to sit through them, and it's like, oh, because I have to sit through them as well. When people do what Jake has done, what Goldfish has done, what Joseph Fagundes has done, what Niels Alex Axelson has done, what Richard Skinner has done, and what Elaine S has done by donating money direct to me to support Golf Nut, Ask Golf Nut channel, that means more to me than you'd know, and I really, really appreciate what you've done there. That means the world to know that the community wants to keep Ask Golf Nut going and help me continue to do what I do. So, right guys, thank you very much for watching. It's been a pleasure. We have been doing this for nearly 2 hours, I think. Something like that. But it has been fun. It really has been fun. Let's open a widget. Can I open a widget? Don't know if I can open a widget. It allows me to open a widget? I don't know. I'm just clicking buttons now to see what stuff does. Awesome choice of beverage. Thanks, Mark. I'm glad you agree. I'm quite picky with beer. I don't really like beer that much. I've just really settled on one. I'm a girly drink kind of person. I'm not if I'm allowed to say that, because obviously, yeah. Steve, apparently you can actually, I don't know how it is. You can actually, on the bottom, so on chat, you've got like a dollar thing. Show your support for Ask Golf Nut by, on the chat thing, you've got a smiley face, a plus thing, and all this lot. Apparently, that's how it's done. But yeah, that for what those people have done today means the absolute world to me. It really does. I can't stress enough just how nice seeing that is. But yeah, yeah, we should do this more often because it is fun and it is enjoyable, and it does give you guys the opportunity to put across your ideas, your thoughts, your feelings and everything else like that in a way where I can answer them in a honest and open way, of which I always do. I know. But yeah, no, I do really want to appreciate all that, all the donations from everyone. That's a very, very kind thing. Appreciate it muchly. So, right. I'm gonna disappear, I think, unless anyone else has got a last question for me to answer. Anyone? Given someone the opportunity to post something on there, and it doesn't have to be golf related, it can be something ridiculous, I don't care. It'll be fun. What do you want me to answer? It is really good to interact. It is, Tony, it's brilliant. Keep this video. You don't want me to keep this video at the start. The start was an absolute apocalyptic mess. When I was trying to work out how everything was working, I'm going, no one's saying anything. What's going on with this stupid chat? And then I refreshed it onto a certain different part and then realized that, yes, everyone is. And then just scrolled through and I'm like, oh, yeah. I might or might not keep this video. I don't know, I probably won't. If I do, I'll work a way to trim the rubbish out the first part of it. And then even the other thing, obviously, because I'm stuck to the camera, and as soon as I switch over to that one, it doesn't work. It's fine. Dear me. Right. So, thank you very much to everybody. Thank you again. Jack Daniels does the job. I used to love Jack Daniels when I was younger. However, I can remember, and this is not advocating whatsoever this ridiculously stupid behavior. I was young and I don't suggest doing it, but I can remember drinking this is 1998, 1998. It was New Year, 1998, 1999, and I drank a whole bottle of the Bicentenary bottle, bar that much. A Bicentenary bottle of Jack Daniels, and that's the one that has something like 43%, not 40. How I kept that down and how I didn't die, I don't know, but I tell you what, yeah. I was all right. It was a bit of a rough night, but I was all right. But yeah, I don't suggest doing anything like that. Drink because you would like to have a drink. Don't drink in excess. Don't be stupid like I was. There you go. AK Special just got in, but we'll watch back, mate. AK Special, A Special K. I like that one. Quick, go on. No, answer go put a question in. I'm gonna knock it off, but by all means, you're here. Get a question in quickly. You'll be the last one before I knock this one off. Because this is, how long is this? 2 hours worth? Oh my word. This has got to be like the most ridiculous. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm still on the first bit. That's my problem. I'm still on the first bit and it's still saying unlisted, not working. On my second tab, everything's going crazy. Know how to donate now? Question note. Oh, it doesn't say, what's that one there? Yeah, I don't, so, I mean, I'm just doing it. So if I show support for Ask Golf, so this is to Bill. It says, know how to donate now, question mark, kind of like that, I don't know. I don't know, I mean, I'm just going to show support for Ask Golf. Now down the bottom it says like a little dollar sign next to a smiley face. You can react as well. And click it, and it pops up, is send a super chat, send a highlighted message, and send an animated image. You can do one of both. It says the same thing, but I really appreciate. I've got the list of the people up on here, and anyone who's donated today, as a mark of saying thank you very, very much for doing it. Get in contact with me via Instagram, and if you want, again, you don't have to, but if you've got a requirement at all for me to do a one-on-one video chat with you when it comes to either Instagram, Messenger or something like that, we'll do that. New Mizuno golf ball, worth it using RB566 at the moment? Yes, this new RB566 Tour and the Tour X, the cover is so much better. When it comes to the old one, which is here, you can't see this, obviously the camera can't catch this, but the old one, this thing is torn up. Now I haven't got very big nails because I bite my nails, terrible practice. But the cover is, I can pick the cover off with my stumpy fingers. This one, they're so much better. Now there is an argument over durability and stuff like that. I get it, yeah, durability is a bit of a weird thing. I don't really care about durability because I play with a golf ball for a round of golf, and then after that, it'll go in the practice bag. I won't play with it again. Other people which are handicapped golfers which don't hit the golf ball very well, they'll probably lose it before they have to worry about durability. But from a durability point of view, much better, and also from a spin rate point of view, lower than the old RB Tour. Now that's good and bad. I mean, the old RB Tour and the Tour X especially used to spin a lot, which is great for golfers who struggled with spin, as in too little. You'd put an old RB Tour X in their hands, instant, no problem whatsoever, brilliant, fixed. It was an option, but things change, and it's basically now like a Pro V1, exactly like a Pro V1. So, Greg, hello Greg. Within the major brands, does driver brand really matter versus getting the right category low spin forgiving draw bias? No. If you stick with the major big brands, Ping's possibly the only one who's slightly differently, because obviously they tailor much more towards forgiveness than anything else. All other manufacturers come from distance first and then try and make it forgiving. Ping go from let's make it forgiving first and then just try and make it go longer. I think it's the inherent differences between how Ping and how their ethos is as a company. Ping are very good when it comes to the honesty factor within that. What percentage of viewers is UK and USA? For more USA viewers, start the show for a 4 or 5, as in FOUR, not FOR. That's what, yeah, it's fine. All right. Or 4 or 5, probably about midnight for you. Yeah, cheers, Goldfish. Appreciate that. Yeah, that's what I'll keep that in mind. I'll found you on Instagram. There you go. Cool. Steve, you. Oh no, sorry, Rich. No, it was Richard. Sorry, Steve. I thought you donated. I thought no, it was Richard who did. But no, by all means, if you want to reach out to me on Instagram, we can chat about something if you would like. But yeah. So what percentage of viewers is UK? And so basically, if you look at my YouTube analytics, about 46% of my views come from America. But I mean, that's not really surprising considering how big America is to how big UK is. But then I get some weird places as well. Some like really strange places in the world that watch my content, and then quite a bit of it, you think, I didn't even realise you spoke English there, let alone anything else. But yeah, it's a... Yeah, I hardly use my Instagram, basically. I don't really use my Instagram at all. I only do YouTube. I don't really do Facebook. I don't really do Instagram. I don't do TikTok. I just do YouTube because that's the direction I want to go when it comes to everybody. So, yeah, Hi, O'Neills. Yes, wants to send you a message. Yes, you can, Barbers and Neils. I've just put one up on there. I'll do this live. We were brilliant to chat a session like suggesting tonight's Q&A. Yep, accept. There you go. I'll accept. There you go. Live as such. And we'll have a chat. Not tonight. This has gone far worse than I thought from a point of view. I wanted to try and get some work done. That hasn't happened. But we had some fun, and we've spoke through quite a few different things, which is good. Sean Mangosing, yeah. I play the JPX 921 forge. I want to switch from steel to graphite shafts, no problem whatsoever. Any benefits in getting the 923 forge? Not really. It's a revision. If you've got 921s already, I wouldn't jump out straight away and go get 923 forge unless you like the look better. There is a very small marginal difference in ball speed difference, and there's a very small marginal difference in forgiveness between the two. If you've got a large sum of money literally burning holes in your trousers, then by all means you can use it on that. And it wouldn't be a bad deal whatsoever, because obviously you can then get your custom fit shafts, and if you do want to go into something like a graphite shaft, you can do, because you can get new grips and stuff like that. Raw head, is there going to be a massive difference between 921 forge and 923 forge? No, there won't. But obviously you can get a new 923 forged completely custom fit where you can't get 921 custom fit anymore. Or does it make sense to just replace the shafts in my current gamers? There you go, I kind of done that. Something's just popped up on my screen. I'll just literally do Cody's quickly. Have you ever tested any PXG drivers that you didn't film or have had any plans in the future? I have tested PXG drivers. There's only, what ones didn't I film? I'd done a Cobra driver once, the F9 was it? I think it was the F9, that I did not publish. Hello Paul, I saw you, I'll speak to you in a sec. That I did not publish. Why? Because, and I've said this, and this is a point. My job as a YouTube content creator, not influencer. These YouTubers are not, or should not be influenced. They should not be influencing which way you should buy. They should educate. And so people understand the nuanced differences between that and everything else. And then you make the decision based on information which you have gleaned from that. No one should sell you anything anyway. My job, when I done that F9 video, it really didn't work for me. So if you imagine physics, one hand giveth, the other taketh away. So a manufacturer has to make somewhere on the face not very forgiving if they want to make somewhere on the face more forgiving. It's just physics. And just so happened on the F9 that where I wanted to hit my normal natural shot and a slight miss as a normal individual, it did not work. And so it performed that poorly for me. I decided not to put it on there because it would have potentially affected Cobra's business in a negative way when it was nothing to do with Cobra's fault. It was me as the individual who wanted me. I wanted to deliver a golf club in a certain way. For 99% of drivers, and that's like it works absolutely fine. For this one, it didn't. That wasn't Cobra's fault. That was mine, just because that's my strike pattern. And it was Cobra's fault, I suppose, for not making a driver specifically for me. No, so I didn't publish it because there was no point in doing it, because my job is not to negatively affect another company's sales. My job is not to necessarily affect a company's sales in the positive. If you choose to buy something on the basis of understanding what a golf club properly does, not what it's marketed to do, well then that's best for you and the product. The company are winning as a byproduct of that. Worst thing you could ever do as a golfer or any kind of consumer is buy on the basis of marketing, find out then it doesn't work, and then you never go back to that company ever again. That's poor. That's what, yeah. There's me jumping on the soapbox again. Steve Wimmer, I want to say thank you. So, and I'll get to Paul in a sec. Paul, thank you very, very, very much for donating. Thank you. It means the world when people do that. It really does. Makes a huge. It warms my cockles. It does. It warms my little data heart. It's things like that. It means that you guys are invested in the channel. You're supporting the whole process of me doing what I do, and that means far more than any kind of YouTube ads that you have to sit through, which drives me mental. But I'm not doing it for free, obviously, so that's why I do it. But yeah, that means more because you've chose to do it, and thank you. Paul, hope you're well. Really do hope you're well. I haven't spoke to you in a little while. Hi mate, would love to hear some thoughts on choosing different balls for winter and summer and what to look for. depends on the green. If you've got a very soft green, then I would change ball potentially, because obviously urethane covered golf ball will spin a lot. And if it's a soft green, it will receive the golf ball and then spin like back. And controlling spin sometimes in the winter is problematic depending on the green conditions, and then so therefore you can go down to a slightly lower spin golf ball, but not too much, because obviously then you're talking about a huge change in your flight that you'd have, and then understanding peak heights and all that lot. So how you control the golf ball and the wind in the winter and stuff like that would also be affected, so you have to do it in an intelligent way. Basically, just if you can get sample packs, or if you can go get one off your mate and give it a hit within an environment to test, to understand how it's going to work, then by all means that's the best way to do it. Mitch Lee, hello from Australia. Hello mate, that is any good? My Australian accent's terrible. Well, I'm all right if I get going. I'm all right. I just got to get myself in there, and it'll be just embarrassing until I get to that point. Basement golfer. Sup, Jay? Sup? Yeah, I'm not down with the kids. Canadian fan here. Hello, Canada, or wherever you are in Canada, Toronto, or I don't know, many places in Canada. Love your material. Just ordered some Pro 225 based on your reviews, and of course my fitting. Good. Thanks for what you do. 14 amp. I hope as I get better, these will last. They will. 225s you could run all the way into very, very low single digits, if not scratch potentially. When you're getting closer to scratch, you'll possibly look for something with a little bit more consistency from a solid core rather than a hollow head. But yeah, really good. It was good. Good choice. Sean Marjoram. Yeah, your honest opinion and approach is so refreshing. The best golf YouTube channel by far. Thank you very much. Now, all I need is about 10 million more people to understand that. And then, well, you'd never have to work again, would you? You'd put one video out there and no, I think it doesn't matter. I'd continue doing what I do, because I do it as a passion, as a want, rather than any form of money-making scheme. There's quicker and easier ways to make money, I must admit, than doing YouTube from baseline up. I mean, okay, my channel's now it's growing, it's much more involved, it's maturing, and so yeah, there's good bits, and yeah. So anyway, let's do this for another hour. Mike, Mark, Matthew, Lee, M. Lee, yeah. First name basis, please. Jay, let's do this for another hour. Let's not. I've got my wife inside. So Ron Colton commented, I will not purchase a club that has plastic. So let's do an hang on, bear with. Niels, we'll have a chat. I've got so many. I will not purchase a club that has plastic embedded in the head. Longevity is sacrificed and cheapens the club, in my honest opinion. Plus, why pay for something that is not metal? What is that? Oh, is that the P77? I would say, yeah. So that's a comment on the P770 video. Just done that live. I haven't replied to it yet. Right, so Aero UK, what forgiving irons still spin well? G430 spins really well for its loft, really does very well for its loft. That's one thing that pops into my head. The JPXs do really well, considering they are cranked 28.5 degrees, but then again, can you remember the Rogue X iron? Was that 27 degree 7 iron? Was it 27 degree 7 iron? It was something like, it was mental, wasn't it? Bear in mind spin. So spin is much more of a combination of your speed-related spin, your delivery, and strike. So depending on what ones you suffer from when it comes to needing and requiring extra spin, I would look at, if it's speed-related, let's say if it's speed-related, you got to get quicker. There is not a head really that's going to add that much spin to it. You can strike it slightly differently to increase spin artificially, but then sometimes, and most of the time, you then sacrifice some speed anyway, and then also launch. So yeah, spin is an interesting conversation. When will you do this again, Bill? I don't know. I didn't even plan to do this. I was planning on working. I have got stuff to edit, and I was going to be on there, and I thought, you know what, I have this in the background, and I'll just do this and going along, and you know what? No work being done tonight. I suppose in that sense, from pure thing like that, I have done absolutely well for people to kindly, exceptionally kindly donate money tonight on the chat. And it's been just a very heartfelt, amazing thank you to everybody for doing that. Because I haven't made any money from editing or anything tonight. So I suppose that's my little kind of every cloud. What forgiving irons still spill well? Every iron. So is that, yeah, so what forgiving irons, oh, sorry, I thought we said four, yeah, we've done that one already. So everyone's good. We're finished, are we? I've got to go. If not, I'm never going to leave. So everybody that has donated today, if you want to, this is before I go, if you want to, by all means, get in touch with me through Instagram. I'm on Instagram, Ask Golf Nut. Go on there like that and reach out. Mix and Mash, great channel, love the content. You're welcome, absolutely, you're welcome. And yeah, get in contact, because if you want anything when it comes to a one-to-one, an absolute definite one-to-one time on the phone, Instagram, kind of whatever that live thingy is, or Messenger live video chat, then we will do that, because I want to say thank you distinctly to the people that have donated very kindly. Even a small amount of money, it doesn't matter. Little things like that, absolutely out of the blue, unasked for, means the world, really does. Mark Reynoso, enjoy your scientific approach to club evaluation. Would you ever consider having a guest senior with a slow swing speed hit clubs to evaluate stats? By the way, I'm not volunteering. That's a shocker, isn't it? Many people don't volunteer to be on YouTube and get character assassinated, because people do have the tendency to be a bit, not going to say nasty, because it's not nasty, but with YouTube, with being open to the world, you have to have a bit of a thick skin, because the things that happen here tonight, absolutely lovely with everyone that have done what they've done, and everyone's joined in and everyone's asked questions, and it's been really nice and pleasant. It has really, but you do get some idiots that are keyboard warriors that have just thought, I'll say that for what honest purpose did that have you getting that off your chest? Yeah, the kind of thing. And so generally speaking, if it's something which I deem as rude, offensive, or just plain just not needed, I'm all for constructive criticism. I know my stuff is quite unique, my stuff is quite niche in how I do things. I'm not going to I won't be a Rick Shields, because I won't do cinematic stuff, because I don't think it really, apart from entertainment factor, I think if you want entertainment factor, go on Netflix. If you're trying to learn something about whatever it be, then that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to give like properly good, honest, truthful information out there for people to learn. But yeah, not volunteering. Do you swing speed systems like the Stack? I hope. Do you swing speed systems like? Do you think swing speed systems like the Stack are helpful? Google very quickly. I need to keep much more on. I'm now going to go as a golfswingsystems.co.uk. That I mean, they're not. So it's a speed stick, basically, effectively. Yeah. Yeah, it's a speed stick, really, isn't it? So basically, it's a stick with a big long weight on the end. I used to have a metal bar, which was flattened out on the end of it, basically, just and put a grip on the end. It was heavy, and that's what I used if I wanted to get faster. There's a lot of things you can buy. There's a lot of things you can make yourself. If you got the money for things like that, and then you're quite happy to do, then practicing with those speed stick kind of things will work. Get the weights on, really push. But I've always said this to everybody when it comes to if you want to speed train, and the reason why I wanted to do some information on here was there is some work that I'm doing, which I've done some research, and it's the difference between should you work on accuracy, should you work on distance, what golf club should you work on depending on what your accuracy is for your handicap, where you're missing depending on how far offline you are and stuff like that. There's some interesting things where people could take to get their handicap down quite easily, quite quickly from just understanding what they need to practice. But I didn't get a chance to do that tonight. Yeah, I've always said when it comes to your last balls, if you're going to have a driver session, leave 10 right at the end. You know, at the end you're nice and warm, your body's not going to injure yourself in the last 10. Is the last 10, just hit them as hard as you can. Get your muscles going as hard as you possibly can. And then, yeah, get it going like that way. So, right. Everybody, I am going. It's now 9:30. I have been in 2 hours or something doing this. Again, before I go, thank you very much for every single person that has donated. Steve Wimmer, Jack Heckman, Goldfish, love that name, Joseph Fagundes, Niels Axelson, Richard Skinner, and Elaine S. Thank you very, very much for doing what you've done. Absolutely, completely unrequested, and it was just a heartfelt thank you. Thank you very much for doing that. A Special K night to you also. Thank you very much for everyone. It has been a pleasure. I'm not quite sure if I'll keep this one on or not. I might keep it on for tonight and then try and trim the living heck out of the first part because it's embarrassing. I'm waiting for YouTube. Why is it? If I look at the tab still, it's still circling saying connecting stream software to go live. Viewers will be able to find your stream once you go live, and it's still sitting there doing nothing. Yeah, I need to work out how that bit works. Right, so anyway, thank you very much for joining in, everyone. It's been a pleasure. And I will see everyone later on at one point. I've got TaylorMade P7 MCs coming out tomorrow night. I've got the S23 wedges reviews I'll possibly start doing tomorrow, so it all depends on how fast I can get them edited and stuff, because this one's going to be a bit of a different one, because obviously there is a certain thing around the S23 wedges which is all to do with its centre of gravity and its consistency, its spin profile and stuff like that. So I've worked out a way I can test it, see how good these are or not. Don't know yet. They look really nice, but yeah, that doesn't mean it actually works. So we'll see. But I've got loads of compares to do that people are asking for, and I'll work my way through them as fast as I can. So thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it as always, and we will speak soon.